It's now my pleasure to introduce Captain Alan Johnson, who's the Managing Director of Flight Training and Standard. Captain Johnson has been with American for 33 years, since June 15, 1990, and has served in numerous management positions within the flight department. He is a lifetime member of the Gray Eagles and the Three Diamond Society. He will be speaking today on legacy, what it is, what it does mean for us here at American. So without further ado, Alan, the floor is yours.
Thanks. Very humble to be asked to speak to such a dignified and history group. I believe in our history, and it's important to me. But Daniel, in his talk, he brought up some things that I thought you might like for me to share in my current role. So I'm responsible for the pilot training for all of American Airlines pilots, and we just went over 16,000 pilots, which is pretty crazy. I think a lot of you probably know Beverly Bass. I was speaking to the Gray Eagles luncheon several months ago, when I was the director at DFW, and I said that we had 4,000 pilots at DFW, and I saw her gasp, and I said, Beverly, what was your original seniority number? And it was like 36 something. And so we had more pilots in the DFW base than were at American Airlines when Beverly was hired in the mid-70s. So it's an amazing feat. Part of what the success of our company has been is that, and I tell people, I work for the instructors. They don't work for me, I work for them. It's my job to provide them with resources and tools so that they can do their jobs, and they work for the pilots, and our pilots work for our customers. So we currently, this year, we will do over 12,000 continuing qual training events at American Airlines. So every pilot is required to attend a training course every 12 months to maintain their qualifications. So the instructors of American Airlines will conduct over 12,000 of those in 2023. And likewise, a course where we teach you a new airplane, a new seat, a new position on an airplane. We call that a long course. We'll do over 4,400 of those this year, and somewhere between 2,100 and 2,200 will be new hire pilots. So we're hiring in excess of 2,100 pilots a year. We're retiring, right now this year we'll have close to 900 retirements in 2023. Next year will be over 900. It drops back down to just 800 the following year. But I can remember in my time here, I've been here 33 years, that we didn't retire 60 pilots in a year. So we are a huge company now, a big company. And that's what ties into what I always talk to I talk to all of our new hires when they come on board, and I talk to all of our new captains when they take on that responsibility as a captain. And in talking with them, you know, our company is really big about talking about legacy, and it's really important. But most of the time when we talk about legacy, we talk about all the companies that have come together to form the now American Airlines. Well, I don't. When I talk about legacy, I talk about you. I talk about me. I talk about the people that came before us, because that's our legacy. I heard the conversation about being able to help someone at a gate, you know, when they didn't know the new system, you know, and you had that legacy, that information, and you were able to bridge that gap with that employee, no matter how long they've been there, but you were able to help them. So, you know, it's organizations and societies like this one that are really important, and they're not new to our country, right? We really hold on to that. We kind of envelop it and grow it amongst ourselves. And it's important. Our history is 97 years. That's a long time. I don't think Charles Lindbergh knew what he was doing when he flew that first bag of mail from St. Louis to Chicago, that it would become what it is today. But it's pretty amazing that we've evolved to where we are today. So it is our people that is what drives us and what holds us. It's the people of the past, it's our future, our current. But if we don't share that legacy, if we don't share that experience with the people who are coming on now, then that's on us. We can't do that. We have to share that, because I believe that if we don't understand where we've come from, we can never guide where we're going to go. We'll just keep repeating the same. We'll never really grow as a company, as a culture, as people. So we have to do that. So every time I talk to the new captains, I make a pitch for the Gray Eagles, because I'm a member there too. And I look around, and it's 20 years for me to upgrade the captain. And we have 2-year captains now at American Airlines. It just wakes me up screaming in the middle of the night. Only once now. It used to be more, but it's really it's good. And I look around there, and I was like, well, some of you don't qualify to be a member of the club because you're not 50. You're not there yet. You got to do that. But it's really important. And also, I want to pitch to promote this organization, because this is so important. I got a lot of history from Jock, thank you very much. He provided some of the fact documents, the Pioneer Society that started the Three Diamonds Society. And then to be able to, someone that is not going to have a 30-year career, but may have a 25-year career, to make them an affiliate, to bring them in. That's really important. It's very inclusive to be able to do that for our group, because it continues that legacy, it continues that history. If we don't, then where do we go? I got to have dinner last night with Bob, Ruth, and Jock, and it was just really nice to sit and listen to that. And it made me remember when I first heard about this organization. I was a 5-year employee, and my captain had just gone in the office to get his 10-year pin. And he was really excited. And it was the old logo with the double A and the eagle, and he had it, and had it in his hand, and he asked me to put it on his jacket lapel. And I felt pretty honored to actually be able to pin that on him. And he looked at me and he said, "So Alan, how long are you going to be here?" Then the retirement age was 60. And I said, "Well, I'll be here 33 years. He goes, "Wow, you're going to have 3 of these. You're going to be part of the club." And I said, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "You're going to be part of the 3 Diamond Club." And I had no idea what that meant until I crossed that threshold of 30 years and I got that letter. And I was like, I'm a member of the 3 Diamond Club. It's pretty amazing. So I wear my pin at events all the time with pride. And I actually, when I was in the DFW flight office, I got to give a pilot his 40-year pin. And that's pretty rare for us, because we time out in the age department, and we usually start a little bit later in our careers than other departments. But it was pretty amazing to be able to hand him that pin and shake his hand, and just think about what he has done, his legacy, what he has brought. And it's also organizations like this that transcend our departments, because we get a little siloed. I can tell you a lot about pilots. I worked in the operation at DFW, so I know a little bit about customer office and customer care, because I had to answer questions about things like that. So I know a little bit about it, but the rank and file of our company, they don't, and this is where they learn it. It's organizations like this and outreach where you're able to depart that knowledge and your experience of years to them, and that's what's really important. So please don't give up on that. Please cross that border, shake that hand, and educate a pilot, a flight attendant, a customer care, customer ops, whomever it is. Please do that. We also, one of the things I like to point out when I'm talking to the new captains, we have dinner for them in the C.R. Smith Museum. Who all's been in the C.R. Smith Museum? Good, just about everybody. It's awesome. So, there's a pretty little DC-3 sitting there in the hangar that C.R. Smith and Mr. Douglas actually came together and developed, because they had a dream of air travel. They had a dream of what we do. And they developed that airplane, and then there were some problems over there, so we had to take those airplanes over there and push young men out of them and settle that conflict, and then brought them back and started the business that we all love and have given a majority of our lives to. Noble. But on November 17th of last year, there was a B-17 crash in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. It was part of the Commemorative Air Force. One of the smaller airplanes, fighters, accidentally flew through the tail of one of the bombers. And the pilots for that flight were former American Airlines pilots. And Terry Barker, Captain Terry Barker, was a member of this organization. Lynn Root, also a wonderful individual that we as a pilot group held up and held in great esteem. So the Gray Eagles came to the company and came to the union and said, hey, we want to memorialize these guys. We want to do something for them. And in the hangar there, you can buy a brick and you put your name on it. There's a lot of families that have had employees that have passed, and they buy a brick to memorialize them and put it in the floor. So we decided as a collective group that we would memorialize those guys, Terry and Lynn, by putting bricks down, and then also putting a Gray Eagle, a company, and a Union APA brick alongside of it. So we were debating on where to put it, and if most of you have dealt with flight people, flight department, you know that sometimes captains can be a little strong, so the first thing we were thinking is maybe it has to be right up under the left window, because that's where they would always sit, right? And that's where they would want to be. But when we thought about it, we decided to put it right by the boarding steps of that DC-3. Because as I said in the service that we had to commemorate those bricks, it doesn't matter how little or how big you are. When you go to the C.R. Smith Museum for the first time, everyone's drawn to that shiny little bird. Everyone runs up and boards that airplane. And Terry and Lynn greet every visitor of the museum. And that's legacy. And whether those people that are boarding that airplane know them, know their legacy, or about to learn their legacy, that's what we do. And that's what the museum's about. That's what this organization, in my eyes, is about. That's what the Gray Eagle's about. It's continuing that. And that legacy is about people. It's about us. So please don't lose sight of that. Please rattle the cage. Jock is really good at badgering people to get their lifetime memberships in. Be an ambassador for it and do that too. Because I got in the history and I saw the numbers that this organization used to have at conventions and stuff. And it was really, really cool. And what I thought of was there were 2,500 people that had 30 plus years service for our company. That's what really took me back. That's what really made an impact on me. So thank you for being here. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. I feel like such a neophyte to be able to stand before you and talk, because this organization started the year I was born. So I know I say that to embarrass myself, but very proud to be a member of your organization. Very proud to support us as we continue a legacy of a very proud and grateful company. Thank you.
Go.
I think I buried it. Yeah.
Oh, you married?
It's mere tangible evidence of our thanks.
Okay.
Take you and your wife out to dinner on us.
Oh, thank you.
Appreciate it.
That's unnecessary. Thanks.
Thank you, Ellen.